Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I can't 100% tell you why. Why I decided to watch this movie.
Juan, you didn't fucking tell me I was stealing uranium.
It was supposed to be a surprise. Now bring it
She's
back.
stealing uranium?
What
What?
if this
It's one of those situations where whenever Netflix comes out with an original film, it's always like, man, 9 times out of 10, they're bad. At least in my opinion. I'm sure people have varying opinions, but I don't know. And I saw that J-Lo was starring and producing, and what's her ratio of good to bad movies? But I saw the Rotten Tomato score, and it was very low. It was like 18% or some shit. And when you tell me a movie's bad, I think I get more curious about watching it. I'm talking about Atlas, a 2024 film that was directed by Brad Peyton. And let's just get into the plot before I say my opinions. The plot is, it's about AI. Stop me if you've heard this plot before. AI has taken over. It's decided that humanity is the biggest threat to ourselves and to the planet, so they decide to destroy us. And so we're dealing with decades of an AI war sort of happening on the planet. And this movie, it has like $100 million budget. And there are some moments where it's like, oh, they put the budget to good use. And then there's other scenes where I'm like, what the fuck? It doesn't help that I've seen movies recently like Godzilla Minus One. I remember hearing about that movie, The Creator, that they all have really low budgets. In Godzilla's case, less than $10 million budget, right? And the CGI scenes when they happen look phenomenal. And so I know this movie is heavy emphasis on CGI, but $100 million? How much is J-Lo taking in the back pocket? Well, J-Lo taking anything in the back is not the worst idea. So back to this movie. Look, I'll be very straight up. I did not hate this movie. I expected to hate this movie because of those reviews, because of Rotten Tomatoes. And I had seen parts of the trailer and I thought it looked like shit. So I thought I was going to hate it. I didn't like it either. I'm not saying that this movie was great. I'm not saying that, man, this is going to be in my top 5 or 10 best of the year. I can guarantee it won't. And given how bad the rest of the year shapes out for bad movies, will it make it to the worst? I don't know, but I did not hate the movie. I thought that there were decent ideas conceptually about it. Like, I said AI, and I said, how many times have we seen an AI thing? This is true. I'm sure there are some people who will, in today's day and time, hear AI and get intrigued by that, because I feel like the world right here, right now, is at its ever so afraid of AI and how much of reliance we will be on it and what could potentially happen one day. I still think when you have movies like Terminator and fuck even iRobot, like you have better versions of this story out there, but it's most recent, and so it will get some traction based off of that. I saw shockingly that it's produced by Greg Berlanti, who I remember seeing that name on all of the DC CW shows back in the day, and so I guess this is what he's doing now. He's producing Netflix shows. Good for him. Now, at the very beginning, you have the prologue of how the AI bullshit started with Simu Liu. He plays the head Terminator, the head AI dude that kind of gets the ball rolling. And then the bulk of the film is 28 years after that. So you have Jennifer Lopez playing Shepard, who I heard that last name and I instantly thought of Mass Effect and said, let's just do a Mass Effect movie instead. But that won't happen. J-Lo, I thought she was fine. There were some scenes where I actually thought, okay, she's giving more than I think you would expect. She's actually a lot of stuff of her having to be by herself, interacting with the AI, talking to it. They didn't take it overly serious. I mean, there were definitely serious moments as far as flashbacks to what happened to her mom and how much she may or may not be responsible for everything going on. But I also thought they tried to have fun with her and her Smith AI character, who seemed like he was trying to win her trust. The other cast, we have Sterling K. Brown, always great to see him show up. Mark Strong, who doesn't really get shit else to do other than just be the head general guy that's in charge of the operation, but he's not in battle. He's not doing any of the action. I was almost, since he wasn't doing anything for a while, I was almost waiting for a twist that he's the villain. No, nothing. Maybe they plan on making a sequel. Maybe they will bring him back. And Simu Liu, I already mentioned him earlier. He just plays a robot. He just plays an AI. So he doesn't require any emotion. He doesn't require any range. I really enjoyed him in Shang-Chi, and I've been waiting for a sequel to that. And so the fact that this is one of the few things I've seen him in since then, I'm kind of like, this is it. It's a thankless role. It's just, you know, he's supposed to look menacing and sinister with blue eyes, and he's non-human. They tried to have this dynamic of him and J-Lo because the mother worked on Simu Liu as an AI, as a robot, since she was a kid. So they're kind of, sort of, in a weird way, brother and sister, I guess, or they grew up in the same way. He calls her mom mother as well. It's like they could have hit that harder. They could have hit that dynamic harder and how maybe close and connected they are. It's very faint, that whole connection of like, I know you better than anybody. There's not enough of that. The writing, I think, isn't the greatest here. The budget, like I said, I cannot believe they spent $100 million. Netflix. I know Netflix is still like the highest streaming service going right now as far as subscribers go, but I also heard that Netflix is struggling lately with keeping subscribers and sort of keeping interest because there's so much other shit out there, and honestly, this shit like this isn't going to keep me around. You know, I am just waiting for Stranger Things. I don't think epic actiony sci-fi movies like this is going to do a whole lot to move the needles. But what the fuck do I know? I'm just a viewer. I'm just somebody on YouTube. I'm not somebody who's actually profiting off of this bullshit. So the movie's fine though. It was a decent time waster. I put it on expecting to be bored as fuck, and it actually kept my interest in a lot of these smaller moments. The action I could have done, take it or leave it, but the quiet moments with J-Lo, I was able to sort of follow along with and appreciate her acting and what she brought to it. I'm gonna give this perfectly for where it is on Netflix and chill.
Oh yeah.
It does not need to be in theaters. Budget-wise, it probably should, but quality-wise, right at home on Netflix is the only place this really deserves to be. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Atlas? Did you like it more than I did, or are you surprised I didn't go harder, rant harder on this? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!